one of the big issues there is that the person who was in charge was not paying attention to the investments. I don't know if they went to sleep at the wheel or if they just really didn't care. As we have seen that exhibited in the past 4 years in the Senate chambers. So we went to work immediately trying to make sense of how can we save these parents at least the money that they invested. They were guaranteed that money would be there.
We thought early, ours was.
And so what we did, we were able to save that portion of it. And of course, you're having to deal with the general fund budget, all the things that were going on there, and so making sure that we had enough money to at least get us to a point to where we could figure it out. And the second thing we had to deal with was dealing with the post-secondary education institutions, because they kept raising the tuition. And the treasurer didn't have the foresight to look in there to say, okay, then we know tuition costs is going up, so we're going to have to adjust this PACT program to where these people, the parents who have invested for their children's future, that their money will still buy the same goods that we sold them 8 years ago or 10 years ago. And so, again, thank God for the sitting lieutenant governor who caught it, brought it to our attention, and immediately, remember Representative Craig Ford championing that legislation in the House and pushing and pushing.
Yeah, we've covered it closely on the blog.
And so, you deal with so many issues, and that's one issue that was very vital to all of us, not just to the parents who had put their hard-earned dollars into the program to educate their children, but it would have educated children all over. I mean, that's the way I looked at it. If you remove one piece of the pie, it just sort of dwindles the pie, and nobody gets their share. But we worked very hard, and we think we made some headway, but there's still a lot of work to do, and the lieutenant governor is very vital in that position. The lieutenant governor can make sure to ride herd over the state treasurer, saying, look, these parents work very hard. Let's make sure. And then deal with the post-secondary education institution. Says, look, if you're going to raise the tuition, these parents have invested. And then we can come back and say to PACT parents, if you're in the PACT program, I don't care what the University of Alabama's tuition is, if you want your child to go to the University of Alabama, they're going there with what you were guaranteed by the state, and then the state just have to cough up the rest, because after all, we have some funding mechanism for the University of Alabama, for the University of Auburn, for several universities in the state, so they're in our state budget.
The universities were pretty recalcitrant in the initial stages about working with PACT parents. And I know that the then president of University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa told Patty Lambert, who's one of the board members now,
who's from Coleman.
Yeah, who showed her this nice stack. These are all out-of-state students. I can let them in, and they pay double. So, I mean, why should I give you a break?
Yeah.
I mean, what is the goal of our publicly funded state universities?
And that's when legislators should have spoke up and said to him at that time, look, here's X number of dollars, and we can put it over here. You see, that's like the tail wagging the dog now. Mm-hmm. And that was a slap in the face of parents in our state. And we can't allow that. We cannot allow folks to take advantage because they sit in a position over people who spend their last dollar to make sure that their children stay in the state of Alabama, number one, to get a good education in Alabama, and then to get a good job in Alabama. If that's the way, if that's the message that we're sending folks, if that's the message that we have when we say to parents, I got this many out-of-state students who will pay double, okay, fine. if that's the way we're going to treat our people, then we need to have a serious come to Jesus meeting with these folks.